And I would like this new member to go on some journey and to look like that diagram. Not quite like that diagram, but yeah. I want them to have their own customers by the time they reach supervisor. I want them to have their own members underneath them. I want their members to have customers, and I want their members to have members. If that's, and it's starting with the end in mind, if that's what I want my members to do, then and really I want more royalties, but for more royalties I need more supervisors. For more supervisors, do I just want more supervisors? No. Because I've been in this business for 23 years where we made supervisors who did nothing. I don't want supervisors. I want supervisors who have a certain behavior and a certain architecture by the time they hit supervisor. And we started asking the question, how do we design that? How do we make it look like that? And so the process began. And the process was this. First, customers need to fall in love. And we talk about this a lot. We've talked about this in Manchester. We've talked about this in South Africa. We talked about this in Austria. We talked about this in Prague, so we don't need to do it again. But the first thing that happens is it's more than just somebody kind of using the products. Almost, it's waking up in the morning like a Labrador puppy with your tongue hanging out going, I want that shake. And we need to help customers hit that point. Because if we can, and we can teach our member who feels that way to share their shake effectively, only then can we start thinking about converting customer to member. Truthfully, I think if you were to take a customer who says, yeah, the products are okay, and then you show them an opportunity, you may get them to do everything. You may get them to give you the referrals. You may get them to come to an HOM. You may even get them to register. But if they haven't got step one out the way, where they're waking up in the morning going, oh my goodness, I can't do without my shake, I love it so much, then the truth is immediately the foundation that we've laid is low. And their ability to become an effective member is impaired. So the process to convert customers to member. We as leaders have to be thinking, have I got a process? Only then we think about, now I've got a member, how do I develop them? And once I've got that, I've got supervisors. So here's a question. Somebody said to me this morning, do you do supervisor schools? And I'm thinking, I'm not quite sure why. Because what should an effective supervisor do? Should have an invitation to bring people to have a look at taking an action, which is probably an evaluation, to becoming a customer, to from being a customer falling in love, to maybe joining a process, which we'll talk about in a second, to be, if a supervisor has all of this stuff going on underneath them and they're doing the same thing, then actually that's the same thing that a member does. Everyone does exactly the same thing. For us personally, we use a process called 15-10-5-1. And 15-10-5-1 is presented upside down deliberately. We do not believe that every customer will be a member or should be a member. Every customer needs to do something to become a member. And for us, that something is make a commitment to 15-10-5-1 and be prepared to do the work. Otherwise, don't sign. Stay my customer. But if you would like to get started with us, do 15 evaluations. And people say, where do I do 15 evaluations? I've been around in the business for 15 years, 20 years. I've gone through my whole center of influence. There's nowhere that I can do evaluations. My answer is, what a nonsense excuse. What an excuse. Where do I do 15 evaluations? You wake up in the morning, you walk out your front door, and I guarantee you, during the course of the day, you will see 300 people. It is not that you can't find people to do evaluations with. It is that you are too embarrassed to go and do the evaluations. My answer is, get over it. Yeah. 15 evaluations. 15 evaluations, 10 trial packs. We only use a trial pack. Personally, why do we like the trial pack? The reason we like the trial pack is it's part of that same process of developing the customer before they're even a customer. And then we'll develop the member, and then we'll develop the supervisor, but we'll do everything one step early. Instead of once you qualify supervisor, I'll train you how to be a supervisor. I'll train you how to be a supervisor while you're a member. I'll train you how to be a member while you're a customer. I'll train you how to be a customer while you're a prospect. We've taken everything one step back. And what's really simple about this now, because it's so simple, it's 15, 10, 5, 1, all we have to do is have a support system that supports that. So you're going to hear about this tomorrow. There's an amazing training section. And don't even worry about this because there's some details in here. If I had to tell you all the things that are done for customers, it would be pages. You as a leader need to design for yourself. Have I got structures to educate, inspire, support, love, nurture? I get flavors of shake going. Have I got customer support groups? Have I got a way to convert members to customers? Maybe you use HOMs. Maybe use the ambassador program. Maybe you, I don't know what you do. But find the solution that works for you. We have an example of many of our people who just have trainings, you know, normal distributor trainings, where we have our distributor trainings, and what they say is all customers are free and welcome to come to any distributor training. And we will not do a presentation to you. We will not talk to you as though you are somebody who should look at our business. We will talk to each other as distributors the way we talk to each other. You're welcome to watch, and if you like it, join. If you don't like it, then stay as a customer. It doesn't matter what your solution is. What is important is that you find a solution. Only then you go into member activation program and ask yourself a question. Have I got support systems? Once I've got support systems, now you can put a leadership training support system together. So now we start to measure the same thing. You as leaders, you should know your numbers. Are customers really alive in your business? Or is it promoted volume? How do you know? You go into BizWorks and you pull a report. And how many people in my business did 500 personally purchased volume? But don't get too excited by it. Because the amount of people who did 500 personally purchased volume is going to be up here and you're going to go, yes, everyone's got customers. Now pull a second report that says how many people did 500 personally purchased volume 3 months in a row. And get your calming tablets ready. I was having this conversation with Russell the other day, and we were going, oh, because unfortunately, we have to keep driving this customer culture. If you think that anyone who does 500 personally purchased volume has got customers, the reality is, very often it's promoted volume. What we're looking for is consistency of volume. Second report you wanted, Paul? Do you want to go, have I got new members coming inside? By the way, what's the cure? If your gap is huge, this many people doing more than 500 personally purchased volume, this many people doing 500 personally purchased volume 3 months in a row, what's the cure? The cure is to come all the way back to the beginning of the process, which is a customer culture, which means fall in love with the shakes, which means developing 5 to 7 customers at our local training systems, at our local support systems. We're going to talk about recognition in a second. Are we really teaching how to get customers, or are we teaching how to get volume? Are we really saying, here's how you get 5 to 7 customers, or are we saying 500 volume points and you'll get a NutriBullet, a great blender? Are we more concerned about the customers or more concerned about the volume? So let's go on. The second thing that you're going to measure is converting customers. For us personally, you just have to have a benchmark. For us, every time somebody does 500 personally purchased volume, it should represent 5 to 7 customers in an ideal world. And if 5 to 7 customers is happening, we want to know that they're managing to convert one of those to become a member over a trend. It's not, I see that you did 5 to 7 customers last month and you haven't got a member. It's over a period of time. It's over 4 or 5 months and I'm seeing the trend. Then there's member development. Once I've measured that, I know that the cure is my team might need some help and some assistance and some structures to help them convert. Now I want to know, how many new supervisors am I creating? Now this, for me, is the most critical piece because it's not about my royalty and it's not about your royalty. It's actually about a brand new supervisor's ability to get to world team or active world team. And the truth is, if we don't design something that helps our brand new supervisor create supervisors, then we're holding him or her back from getting to world team and getting to active world teams. We need to be designing this with them in mind, not with us in mind. Our royalties will be a consequence of designing structures that help members improve and help supervisors grow a business. So then the final one we measure is the number of supervisors and the average volume per supervisor. It's funny, 23 years in the business, and for 20 years, all I cared about was supervisor volume. I'd pull a report and go, yeah, my supervisors are unbelievable. Bad, good. Truth is, I never pull a supervisor volume report anymore. I pull a linear view report on BizWorks every single time. Because I'm not interested in the volume. Let me show you. Here's a great example. Here's a world team member in our organization. Gave me permission to share it, but I'm not going to give his name. A couple of months ago, he decided to get member activation program alive. And in theory, August, September, October, this is now, by the way, this is literally now, this is ended in October. In theory, does it look like he's got member activation program alive? Heck yeah, in theory. I pull a report that any time it's over 520 points, it turns red. Every time it's under 520 points, it stays yellow. Because for me, that's a warning. How likely is it that somebody's really got customers and is doing a consumption-based business and they come in at 501, 504, 511? What does that mean? I've got my customers, it's the 16th of the month, that's it, thank you very much, I'm stopping. That's bought volume. That is a supervisor going to his downline and saying, 500 volume points 3 months in a row and you're going to get a new tree bullet. Immediately, I pull that report and I go, this is not member activation program. This is 1980 promotion volume, and we don't want to do 1980 promotion volume. We don't promote volume. It's customers behind the volume. However, a couple of years ago, every month he does 3,000, 3,500, 4,000 points. Is it easy for us as leaders to celebrate the volume? We pull a report, I'm seeing 3,500, 4,000 volume points a month. Man, I only need 10 of those. I've got another 40,000 points, 2,000 royalties. Yeah. The truth is, that's all I'm going to ever have, because there's going to be no growth coming out of that kind of behavior. The minute I see that, we don't celebrate, we fix. We get in there and we start having discussions about getting the quality of the volume right. Customers first, people first, volume second. So, here's the real deal. Us as leaders in the room. Member activation program, 500 volume points times 3, is not something that we should be telling people to do. It's something that we should be doing and showing people what we do. So there is a big difference between us having our own customers and our members coming from our customers and our own members in development, so that we can constantly go back to our own organization showcasing, here's my brand new member in development. Here's my brand new member in development. We're not telling people what to do, we're showing them what we personally are doing, and we're experiencing the challenges that they're having while they have it. So, here's the diagram that takes, for me, if you get this, you get now. For me, member activation program all starts with customers. I get a brand new member. Here's my brand new guy, David, sitting in front of me. Imagine that. David is your brand new guy. My brand new guy's in front of me. And I don't even worry about David getting to 500 volume points. I worry about David getting 5 to 7 happy customers. How am I going to do that? I'm going to work with him on something called 15, 10, 5, 1. You'll have your own process. You have to develop a process. You're welcome to take ours. We presented it in Prague. I'm not presenting it again now. There's no point doing the same presentation in Prague as we did now. But I'm going to take David, and I'm going to get David in month 1, 5 to 7 happy customers, and he's going to achieve more than 500 personally purchased